Previously on Twin Beaks. It started with a duck, rubber, hollow, floating down the fog-choked river. By the time I got the call, the pattern had already cracked open. Stux had the dream, the red room, the raccoon, the mirror. Snack spoke a prophecy. I wrote it down in crayon. Then Tina burst through the door with a post-it note and a past mistake. April 5th, the day it all started. Again.
Okay, so April 5th, anonymous tip line. 3 calls in one night. Same booth, same 2-minute window, no messages left.
Why call a tip line and not leave a tip? That's like calling a pizza place and hanging up before you order.
Sometimes the call isn't for the other end. It's just proof to yourself that your voice still works.
All 3 calls came by the same payphone by Cherry Log Diner. Of course it's the diner. It's always the diner.
So someone sat there, called 3 times, couldn't say what was wrong, and then what? Threw a rubber duck in the creek for dramatic flair?
No, they told the water instead. All right, let's go back to where the echo started.
There, booth 3, same as the call logs.
Mind if we sit?
Free town, free booth.
So, fun question. Have you ever been experiencing any, unusual water behavior? Repeated dreams, or sudden feelings of being emotionally haunted lately?
Wow, open with the subtlety, don't you?
We're not here to accuse you of anything. We're looking into a resonance anomaly down at the falls.
You're a girl?
Yes, I'm a girl. Now let me see. That's not funny. We didn't put it there.
We just found it floating like a tiny screaming metaphor.
We've got call lines from this diner. April 5th, tip line. 3 calls, no message. Same booths.
Maybe someone dialed the wrong number.
3 times?
Look, in this town, silence counts as data. You don't call 3 times if you don't have something you're afraid to say.
I was gonna report someone, not for a crime, but for existing too loudly in my nervous system.
You mean like stalking?
No, I mean, there was someone. We were close. And then my body panicked. No reason that made sense on paper, just fire alarm, no smoke. I blocked them everywhere. And then I couldn't stop thinking about them. I couldn't sleep, couldn't breathe, thought I was losing my mind.
Yeah, that tracks.
So that night I came here, sat in this booth, dialed the tip line 3 times. I wanted to say, hey, I might have actually turned an actual person into a ghost because my past wouldn't let me see them clearly. But how do you report that? So I hung up, paid my tab, went to the river instead.
And you put the duck in?
No, I just sat there, stood there, staring at the water, thinking, why is it so loud in here? And then I went home.
If you didn't put the duck there, then someone else was listening.
Oh, okay. Yeah. This one says trust. Maybe that'll balance the remember. Or confuse everyone forever. I don't know. I'll ask the creek.
Question, Leonard. How many unauthorized prophetic bath toys have you deployed this week?
Oh, Bossy. Wow. What a coincidence. I was just, doing absolutely nothing symbolic with these. Leonard, explain the rubber duck graffiti slowly, using your inside voice. I didn't mean to cause a case file.
That's what all the best suspects say.
Why, remember, Leonard?
Because it wouldn't shut up. A couple nights ago, I was walking home from the diner. I saw her. Coat duck, shaky wings, the one who sits alone. She was on the phone, or not on the phone. You know when someone is holding a phone like a bomb? You know what I mean. She kept dialing and hanging up, and then she walked to the falls. I followed, at a respectful distance, not in a creepy way, in a civic resonance monitoring way. She just stood there, right where you are, not crying, not talking, just vibrating. And the water, I've never heard it that loud. It was like every bad decision anyone has ever made in this town was echoing at once. And under it, one little signal. Please don't let me do this again.
Do what?
Choose fear. Choose silence. Choose the exit instead of the hard conversation. I went home. I couldn't sleep. Next night, I came back, threw it in, asked the water to remind her, remind whoever needed it. That's all. I wasn't trying to, haunt anyone. Leonard, you started a town-wide metaphysical panic with arts and crafts. I just didn't want to forget there was a choice.
You listen to the field. You just forgot one thing.
That I'm a genius?
That the water can't choose for us.
Oh, yeah, that too.
In a town like this, it's easy to confuse signal with assignment. You hear the ache in the field and think, I have to fix this. But sometimes the kindest thing you can do is hold up a mirror and let the person decide to do with it what they want to see. No more anonymous sermon talks, okay? If you want to help someone remember, start by remembering your own stuff first.
Right. Start with my own stuff. That's so much worse.
You gonna tell me why you look like a ghost in that diner booth?
Because I kinda did. You ever watch someone explain your whole nervous system without knowing they're doing it? There was a duck, for me. Whole thing was messy. Texts, silence, panic, all the hits. I got ghosted. Then I got obsessed. Then I got loud. Too loud. If you read the transcript of my worst week, you'd put me on a watch list and throw away the key. But if you unsigned it, it was just this. Fire alarm. No smoke.
And what did you do with that?
What everyone does. I tried to fix it externally. More messages, more explanations, more if I just say it right this time. When that duck at the diner talked about blocking someone instead being haunted by them, I wasn't sure if I should hug her or hand her a citation.
So whose case is this, Stux? Hers? Leonard's? The town's? Or yours?
You ever get tired of the pattern being right all the time?
Constantly.
But what if I don't want to remember? What if I just want it to be over? I keep thinking, if the water is this loud, maybe it means there's still a chance. Maybe it's not done. I want the case file to say, don't worry, kid. The ghost comes back in Act 3.
The pattern doesn't write fan fiction for us, Stux. It doesn't promise outcomes. It just puts a spotlight on the places where we're still lying to ourselves.
So what am I lying about?
Maybe it's not about whether they come back. Maybe it's about whether you stop chasing them inside your own head. You don't have to forget them to move on. You just have to stop using their absence as proof you didn't deserve love.
Cool. Great. Love that for me.
Here's the rule, desk duck. You don't get to control who calls back. You only get to control whether you keep calling yourself a lost cause. And sometimes, the only person the water is trying to remember is you. Evidence, chain of custody, your heart.
Okay. I'm not ready, but I'm not a villain either. I was scared. You weren't a monster. I just didn't know how to stay.
not every echo ends in a reunion. Sometimes the bravest thing someone can do is tell the truth to themselves on a screen no one else will ever read. Summary. One duck threw a message into the water. One duck amplified it. One town felt it in their bones. Multiple nervous systems implicated. Primary anomaly. Town-wide resonance spike around a single blocked connection and the stories attached to it. Finding. The water was not haunted. It was honest. Recommendation. Advise residents. If the creek starts humming your story back at you, consider listening before it has to get weird. Status. Ongoing. Resolution pending in participants' nervous systems.
So, is the case closed?
We solved enough of it to stop the town from short-circuiting. The rest? That belongs to the ones living it.
Feels like cheating.
It feels like free will. You figure out what that means for you yet?
I think it means I stop waiting for a phone call to tell me I'm allowed to heal.
Then the water did its job. In Resonance Falls, the real mysteries never end with handcuffs. They end with someone, somewhere, finally telling the truth to themselves. If this video resonated, please like, share,
And follow.